the challenging part was looking at the fitness or like the exercise, the workout as like a hindrance and something I had to do in the day. And now it's like, oh, what can I do to incorporate that as a part of my lifestyle?
Hey, what if I told you that dropping weight, becoming more toned, and feeling more confident in your own body confidence, is not an exercise game, it's not a fitness game? What if I said that there are mindset blocks that hold you back from actually taking action and knowing that you can do it? In this video, I'm discussing a body transformation for a Bridal fitness client of mine who I helped uncover her limiting mindset block. She ended up losing 12 to 14 pounds, feeling great in her body, getting ready for her wedding. Join me.
Knowing that if I do this workout, a better version of myself, it helps my mental health. I show up better as like a coworker, a partner, a wedding planner, whatever it may be.
Okay, so far, how much weight have you lost?
12 pounds.
12 pounds. So you went and you're at 114 pounds now?
Yeah.
Got it. Tell me what has been challenging with managing your fitness for your wedding, and then, of course, the work stuff, the work trips, the traveling, and then managing it. What's been the most hardest part?
In the beginning, just prioritizing the workout and making sure I'm showing up for myself. But I feel like it's almost like I was looking at the challenging part was looking at the fitness or like the exercise, the workout as like a hindrance and something I had to do in the day. And now it's like, oh, what can I do to incorporate that as a part of my lifestyle? It may not be necessarily having the full 45 minutes, but hey, I do have 15 minutes here. I do have 5 minutes here, and making it a part of my day to day rather than like an additional chore or something that I have to do. So I think it's just navigating. Every day has been looking very different for me between travel, between wedding planning, dance practice, things like that. Like it hasn't always been like a 6 to 7 a.m. where I've been able to work out consistently, but like finding the time where I can to incorporate exercise into my day.
What's the secret to finding the time?
Prioritizing myself. I mean, there's just taking the action and just showing up for myself and doing it. Like no excuses, knowing that if I do this workout, I'm a better version of myself. It helps my mental health. I show up better as like a coworker, a partner, a wedding planner, whatever it may be. I think that's really been the key.
Do you find that because you're comparing, you're a different person now versus when you were a different person, when you used to make excuses, your identity has changed?
Definitely. Yes. A previous version of me would find any excuse to not work out. Like, oh, I don't have the full 45 minutes, so I'm just not going to do it because 20 doesn't feel like enough. Or even 3 sets of tricep dips in between meetings doesn't feel like enough. It's either, and they're all excuses. It was all like, if I couldn't do it because there was some minor inconvenience or hindrance, like I'm traveling, it's a travel day, I'm in a different time zone, I'm planning for a wedding, like all of these would have been excuses to not work out that day for me.
Mindset block number 1, you don't have enough time. Bullshit. You actually do have enough time. Once you figure out the strategy that you only need 15, 20, 25 minutes tops to do the right exercises, to have the right accountability, to get toned up and drop weight, you will be free. Free to take action, free to become a better version of yourself.
Now, even if it's not a full 45-minute set, even if it's not, the 10-pound dumbbells, it's whatever I am able to use to still incorporate. I think that's been the biggest thing, is the consistency of like showing up for myself. It's a part of my life now, rather than a short-term thing where I'm like, okay, 6 weeks, I'm going to work out an hour and a half every day for 6 weeks, and then that's it, right? And I recognize that's not long-term consistent results in making and being a part of my everyday life forever. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 20 minutes, even if it's in the middle of the night, early morning, middle of the day, I'm still going to find the time to do it.
Mindset number 2, you think of working out as a honeymoon phase versus viewing it as marriage. Marriage is long-term, it's commitment, it's partnership, it's showing up. Honeymoon is a short-term defined phase. The minute you start looking at working out, fitness as long-term personal development like a marriage, you will be free to stick to it long-term.
Some days it's been, I'm going to do a walk and I'm going to do the glute bridges. I mean, I've given myself a bit more grace, I would say, like this week and probably next week, because it's just wedding see crunch time for the wedding, but if this was an old me, I would have said, okay, I'm 1 week from the wedding. It is what it is. I'm just not gonna do anything this weekend. I'm just gonna relax. I've got too many other things to do. But
Mm.
now I'm like, okay, I can at least do this much. And it's showing up for myself and it's the action of de-stressing, right? I think that's been the biggest mind shift.
Yeah, I think that the key thing is that the jewel of wisdom is that before you said, if I don't have a 45 minute, or if I don't have a gym, if I don't have the time to get into the car and go into the gym, and I don't have the whole shebang, the hour and 15 minutes it's going to take, I'm not going to do it. Where now you're judging yourself on your merit and your consistency and the effort you put, the intention you put. No, this is a lifestyle. I'm going to push myself. I've got 10 minutes, I'll do it, versus judging yourself on the outcome. Because
Yeah,
you will never always have an hour and 15 minutes for the whole
right.
shebang.
Yeah, it's been a mental shift because I've always been an all or nothing kind of person, to my own detriment. Like I either work out for an hour and a half or I don't work out, right? And a part of it was like it was just easier to find excuses to not have time to work out for an hour and a half. When in reality, I've learned in our program or our time together, I don't need an hour and a half. 45 minutes to 30 minutes, but showing up for myself dedicated during that time is still impactful and it chips away with my weight or toning up day by day
Yeah.
versus feeling like, oh, I need to set aside an hour and a half or an hour every single day and I've only got 6 weeks to do it. And if I don't have the hour because it's 10 p.m. when I've some days finished working lately, I'm just gonna try tomorrow.
But that's so hard to get over for someone who's not a professional. I'm a professional coach, so I know if I really want to crush my body, get results, get toned up, I can do something in 20 minutes on my yoga mat at home because I know what to do. But how do you tell an average person that all you need is 15 minutes, 20 minutes, when
Yeah.
you don't know what they have to do for 20 minutes? And where do they get this idea that they need the whole hour to go into the gym to get toned up and results?
Yeah.
Not bodybuilders, they're not like elite
Yeah.
athletes. So where do they get this idea?
I could speak from my personal experience. When you feel like you have so much weight to lose, you feel like the 15, 20 minutes, what is it going to do?
Mm,
Right? Like, I'm 20 pounds overweight. What is this 15 minutes going to do? If I'm going to work out, I got to work out for like an hour to at least feel like I did something for my body. But all that does is it delays it from I can't do an hour today, so I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into I'll start on Friday to I'll start after the weekend because I'm going to indulge on the weekend and then I'll start on Monday. And
mm,
that's the pattern, at least for myself, that I've recognized is that I will delay it until it feels perfect. But
mm,
there's no perfect.
mm.
There are some days that are maybe I have the 45 minutes and some days I don't, but I have something.
Mindset block 3, the illusion of perfect action or the perfect amount of time. Remember, some days you'll have 45 minutes, an hour, some days you'll only have 10 minutes. It's you showing up daily towards becoming a better version of yourself is what consistency is all about. Focus on consistency, not perfection.
I will say that when I started losing the weight and I started seeing the results, I was like, this 15 minutes does matter because I've chipped away weight. But I guess when you're first starting the journey, because I felt that too, you feel like there's this mountain of weight you need to lose or overcome. 15 minutes doesn't feel significant. But once you start getting into the pattern of doing it and you start seeing results, I think then you're like, you know what? 15 minutes is 15 minutes. I still feel good about that, even if that's all I was able to give myself today. That's personally been for me at least.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we're gonna start working out. I know
Yes.
that you had a little bit less sleep, but
Yeah.
is what matters. So this is where you. Let's start with your bridges. For have you done anything yet?
I've just done some light stretches.
Okay, so how to get rid of lower belly fat, which is the most stubborn area of fat. Unfortunately, the whole area of your abs is one big muscle. It's not like it's compartmentalized from upper, middle, lower. However, you'll notice that this area, the lower belly, is the most stubborn fat. So let's try an exercise called pre-activation, which basically means that you're going to keep your legs up like a tabletop. You're going to keep your upper abs engaged, and then you're going to go down here and then contract, almost raising your tailbone off the ground, down here, contracting from here, pulling from here. That's just to bring the attention back over here. As soon as you've done 15, 20, it's going to be challenging. You're going to get into a plank, and in the plank, you're going to make sure that you contract or pull from here, okay? And all you're doing is driving that mind muscle connection to here. And what that area is going to do
it's going to basically contract a little bit more of the inner region of the muscle underneath that fat a little bit. And it's going to give you the contraction ability. The muscle is going to learn how to contract while you're walking, while you're in the wedding, while you're working a little bit more. So when you wear your clothes, it's going to look like it's a little bit flatter because the muscles underneath that area is a little bit more contracted.
Okay.
Over time, when you do the push-ups, the lunges, the dieting, the protein, and all that stuff, and you get better and better with your lifestyle, you will continue with time, the lower belly fat region will start going away a little bit more. But at least you can start contracting the muscle underneath that region a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so let's try it.
Try it. Yes.
Ready?
Yeah.
Contract. Keep going. Pull from the lower belly. Pull from the lower belly.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Okay, go. Now cut out the resting period in between the reps. So you see how you're taking your time to holding your feet. Instead of just tipping your toes, you're resting your toes. Don't rest your toes.
Okay.
Excellent. Let's get 3 more in. 2, 1. And plank. Right away, right away, right away, right away. Plank. Now mind muscle connection to your lower belly. And time. Where did you feel it?
Oh my God. Like right here.
So in conclusion, if you're struggling with weight loss, if you're struggling with sustainable fitness, sticking to a routine, if you're struggling with any of these mindset blocks, go to my link below website, fill out a coaching application form. We're gonna hop on a Zoom call and I'm gonna help you get over your mindset blocks and become a better version of yourself. Until next video, Coach Adam.